Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back finally on Pokemon Showdown with IDM Week 2. Going up kinda late. We actually head into Week 4 today, but I had my opponent and I were pretty busy, so I wasn't able to play him earlier. So we just played pretty much, and like at the beginning of Week 4. But thankfully, everyone in this league is kind of chill about that, and we were able to catch up on this game. Week 3 should follow in the next couple days, and then Week 4 as soon as possible. So got a bunch of videos coming with it looks like, and we are facing this week my boy Carson, aka Golden Centurion, and his Jump City Hitmonlees. He's also in the ITL since last season, so good friend, pretty chill dude, and he has a very interesting team, and I built a fun squad for it. As you see, brought the Manaphy, which is a Z Captain, Thunderous, Shaman, Nidoqueen, Metagross, and Marowak. He also had a bunch of other threats like Mega Absol and nice Articuno, working the ice types in the lower tiers, but he decided to bring those six, and they definitely have some merit. The team looks kind of constructed to not lose to Manaphy, not Manaphy, to Magearna, which I definitely understand. Probably is like a bulky Metagross, maybe the Spadef Marowak, or like just max HP, which checks it fairly well. Um, Potentially like Spadef Nidoqueen, and obviously like the two Pixies here, they shoot hits from the beginner fairly well, because I'm not Z-move, so Z-move max, so pretty interesting. Meanwhile, I constructed my squad around Vincune, pretty much. My opponent's team is really weak to Tune if he under preps for it, but like it could also be like when you look at it, it could be in a solid spot versus Tune because Thunderous can always like break a sub. Shaman, unless I get T spikes up, can't beat me one versus one. But if he packs a Seed Bomb, he can, because I think Burn Seed Bomb, if he's invested, might be able to what's it called, to break sub. If I get the Scout Run, obviously, but my team like doesn't really mind Shaman, so not too worried about that. Nidoqueen could pack something for Dune, but probably not. But it's important for me to get rid of Nidoqueen so I can keep my T-Spikes up, even though they don't hit half his team. They actually are very helpful with Manaphy, Shaman, and Marowak. The mod chip Marowak takes, the less impact it has offensively on the game, and offensive Marowak is a pain for me to switch into. Don't really have a counter. I have a Quillfish on my team, I have a Crocodile on my team, but like they don't enjoy Adamant Flare Blitzes or Adamant Boomerangs, respectively. So gotta be really careful about around Marowak. So Simpkin here, pretty standard set. I'm very speedy. I think I outspeed max speed Timid Nidoqueen, even though I didn't expect it. I wanted to be ready for it, as well as a max speed Metagross that maybe tries to toxic me or something. Magearna here is an Assault Vest variant. I toyed around with some Shift Gear Calm Mindset, but I figured Assault Vest would be helpful with plus 3 Mana Fee, plus 2 Thunderous, offensive Shaman even though like I can't really touch it, but it definitely checks his two biggest threats to my team, I would say, in Manaphy and Thunderous. It's easily choose plus 3 Surf for Manaphy. Even like after 3 or 4 rock systems, I don't think I take more than 75%. And I think I chew a plus 3 Z Surf after rocks, but not sure about that. We'll see, but overall very solid since Lurkin, Flash Cannon, Shadow Ball, and Volt Switch are pretty much all I need for his team. Contemplated Ice Beam to not risk a miss versus Thunderous or Shaman, but I figured Flurkin is just a super spammable move versus my opponent, because in his resistances, unless they are like super bulky, don't enjoy switching into it. I'm pretty much max special defense, so yeah, Thundy, Shaman, Manaphy, even like Nidoqueen can't OHKO me, so this is nice. So definitely like big defensive win condition in this game, especially with Wish support from Licky Licky. Licky Licky is standard Cleric heal by Wish, protect with Dragon Tail. My opponent had a fairy on his squad, Gardevoir namely, but I didn't expect it to come because Gardevoir always invites in Magina, so I didn't feel like he wanted to bring it, and also like invites in Talonflame if he locks himself to Moonblast or something. And Talonflame actually is a big threat for him. But Nihilego here making season debut in week 2. Dual hazards, Stealth Rocks, and Toxic Spikes with Sludge Wave and Psychic with a Life Orb. Got enough speed for everything that I cannot speed, like Shaman pretty much and Manaphy. But I have enough special attack to get a Beast and special attack to if I get a knockout. But looking at the squad, like he has a very solid check to Nihilego and Metagross that can potentially pursue trap me. But if I get up my hazards and lure the Nidoqueen with a Life of Psychic, I should be Gucci. If he's offensive Nidoqueen Sludge Wave into Psychic Okos, so that's nice, or 2 kills pretty much. But if I get to weaken it with like Talonflame, maybe with Stealth Rock damage, maybe with a Flurkin from Magina, I can just bop it with a Psychic and set up my my Toxic Spikes on the next turn, so this is nice. Talonflame here is a nice win condition offensively. I kind of built an offensive squad here around like 2 offensive win cons, maybe pretty much 3, but like my defensive core of Licky and Magina plus Q kinda pretty much deals with everything he can throw at me, so I'm not too worried. This is a Bulk Up Taunt Roost Brave Bird set with a Flying MZ. I'm really effective because my opponent's 2 flying resist. He brought them both, which is smart, but Metagross like obviously doesn't appreciate the what's it called, the Flare Blitz, and if he Thunder Punches, he gets a potentially Flame Body burn. And if I get inverted, I can like just bulk up and shoot 2 Thunder Punches unless it's like super offensive, and then like wait until it gets burned, so I can roost stall him a little and bulk up to whatever I want for him. And Thunderous dies to +1 Sky Strike after taking 2 Rock Switch-ins, and he can't switch into a +1 Brave Bird into Z Brave Bird, so with rocks up obviously, so this is nice. Talonflame can really put in the work with my opponent here. Lopunny pretty standard set, return, high jump kick, power up punch, encore. If I, looking at this team, if I like get a revenge kill versus a low Marowak or something with the power up punch, I pretty much sweep his entire team. Unless he's like bulky Manaphy obviously. I expect him to be max defense Shaman from team preview, but it's not too big of a concern because like because I feel like I can ship it down pretty easily by setting up T-Spikes and rocks, by potentially taunting it so it can't recover up, by pretty much bolting out with Magina, by Dragon Tailing him around for like on a switching, for example. So if I pressure Shaman, Lopunny can really go ham. So let's go right into it. I decided to lead off, I think, with my Suicune because I want to prevent early rocks, and if like leads Nidoqueen and just rocks up turn 1 and I get a Scald off, he's in range for Psychic, so and a Z Brave Bird by the way, so I don't lose much by leading Q, and if you lead Shaman I have 2 very solid switches in my Heligon. So yeah, I just go for the Scald, not playing around with Nidoqueen as he goes Shaman. He reveals to be max HP on this turn already, and he has the leftover, so this is a defensive Shaman, which means he can't knock out my Heligo, so I can't get up my rocks here, so I use this opportunity to get up my rocks. Setting up T-Spikes doesn't make sense because Nidoqueen is still around and can always come in on Licky, on Magina, even on my Heligo because he's not in range of the Psychic yet, so rocks, way more important, pressure the Marowak, pressure the Thunderous. And he goes into Metagross. I will pivot out into my Talonflame, as he actually makes a prediction, Thunder Punches. A very smart play, but I get the Flame Body burn, so I can just roost up here on this next turn. As he actually makes another nice prediction, goes for the Earthquake. Smart plays from my boy Carson. Had I bulked up here, I was in a very good spot, but I can't just spam Roost. He can't beat me with spamming Earthquake because he doesn't 2KO me. Like, he never does more than 45%. And like, the talent goes back to full pretty much. Metagross being burned is nice, because Metagross is actually kind of a big threat versus my team. Like, I got a Rocky Helmet Licky, which always walls Metagross. I got Qn, which can burn it, if he like has the heal buff on the Shaman, it could be a thing. But yeah, like having like just the burn and like nerfing its attack stat is pretty nice, so makes switching into it much easier, like always gives me free talent pretty much. I guess in the Nidoqueen here, and I don't know what his stat is, but he actually reveals Black Sludge on this switch in, so I expect him to be more of a bulky variant, probably like max HP, like he has no reason to run like super speedy, so I expect to be max HP Nidoqueen. But I expect me to go for rocks, so I decided to taunt him here. I want to prevent rocks as long as I have Talon around, if that's possible. Now I can switch out into my Licky Licky and start Dragon Tailing stuff around. He goes for the T-Bolt, showing that he is slightly invested, but it's not obviously not life up because he showed the Black Sludge, but he's either modest with no special attack investment, or like has special attack investment but not with a modest nature, and only like I guess like he was like a calm or bold Nidoqueen with around 100 PVs in special attack agent from damage, but I'm not sure. So I decided to go for Dragon Tail here. He goes into Shaman, and this is what I talked about in team preview. Getting chip on this Shaman and not allowing it to recover up is huge. But I get the unfortunate Dragon Tail out into Marowak. I would have much preferred Metagross, but otherwise, like with all other mons on the squad, I would have been forced to switch out pretty much. So I'm glad I didn't get a Nidoqueen because that would have meant 3 rocks for him. But yeah, he goes in the Marowak. I decided to go into my Q and secure a Flare Blitz potentially. If he SDs up, I can Scald it pretty much. So goes for the Brick Break and does 28. Like this is a max attack Big Club Marowak for sure. Like this damage is insane. Brick Break, nice tech for Licky Licky, even though like and potentially I reckon for the Crook, which could have been my switching for it, but like definitely nice damage on my cube. I can just Scald here and catch something. Oh no, I don't Scald. I expect the Shaman and double out into my Talon, making like a nice aggressive play here. And yeah, pressuring the Shaman for my Lopunny. So it goes back into Marowak as I bulk up, and now I can just Brave Bird and knock it out. Might have been a roll. I wasn't heavily invested in attack, but I figured he had to have some speed to really use Marowak as a breaker for my fat stuff. So I don't think it was a roll with the Brave Bird, and even then it was probably in my favor. Nidoqueen comes in. I don't want to taunt this time. I just go for the Supersonic Sky Strike. Like I can't prevent rocks yet at this point because like I could just stick taunt, but if he like if he just Thunderbolts me, I'm like I have to play a lot of 50-50s and didn't want to risk my Talon Flame, and I knew the Brave Bird into Brave Bird would knock off the Nidoqueen. So works out great for me here as he goes into Metagross to scout for the Sky Strike. Good play on his part. Metagross getting whittled, nice for me, but this gives me another bulk up or two. So he Thunder Punches. I think I go for third bulk up here. He makes the hard switch into Thundy. So if I still had my my Flying Z, this would be a death Thunderous now. But I'm plus 3, and I'm considering like just attacking here because like Thunderous is like a huge threat to pretty much my entire team if I allow him to get to plus 3 if he's an Afterthought variant. Yes, I can revenge it with Lopunny, but I think depending on the set I still need a little bit of chip to revenge him here, but Talonflame is still useful. Like it can still set up on the Metagross, it can still revenge the Shaman, it can taunt the Manaphy in the late game, it can chip down Nidoqueen for Nihilego to get a kill, or for Lopunny to just revenge it. So I decide to go out into my Megiana as Carson actually makes a play and will go for bulk up here. A Brave Bird of mine would have done up to 65%, I think. So it would have been nice damage, but I didn't want to risk it. Like had I Brave Birded here on his bulk up, I almost won the game. I pretty much won the game because I would have removed Thunderous, and even if he went Manaphy, I would have gotten huge damage off with plus 3 Brave Bird, and I would have pretty much gotten rid of his biggest offensive threats. Like Nidoqueen, Shaman plus Metagross can never break my fat stuff, so had I attacked here it would have been pretty much game over, but he makes the play, goes for the bulk up as I switch out into my Magiana, and I will just fire off a Flurkin. I'm not messing around with +1 bulk up Thunderous. Interesting that he brought a physical Thunderous versus my team, but it probably has some merit versus an AV thingy here, Magiana, and also versus a more specially defensive Licky, which can't really touch Thunderous if he's F+1 like he needs and bounces off then. I missed the Flurkin on the Nidoqueen. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but pretty annoying because I still haven't figured out his set, other than it was Black Sludge, and I still don't have it in range for Psychic or Return from Lopunny. So I'm forced to pretty much go into Talon here. I see he has fun, he has free rocks, but now I can just roost up on his T-Bolt, licking it, get a little bit of more HP back. Now I will bulk up to hit him as hard as possible, and then I will Brave Bird him on the next turn, just to put him in range. I do 52%, so this Talonflame on this Nidoqueen is not physically invested at all. It's max HP, but has no EVs in defense. So I can go into my lock here, just click return. Big roll in my favor to knock him out. Like I think he needs like one of the lowest rolls to actually lift his return, and even then like a non-life boosted Earth Throw or something doesn't do much with Lopunny. I don't need HP on this thing unless he has Bullet Punch or Metagross. Now he goes into Shaman. I'm like, if this Shaman is a Shaman that is supposed to deal with my Suicune, he's forced to run speed on it. And if he runs speed, a high jump kick, like if he runs enough speed for Suicune, he would have like max HP and then like only 152 or something EVs in defense, which means the high jump kick actually had a chance to knock him out. I also contemplated going for Power Up Punch here because if he leeches, I get the attack boost. I can just hit him with the HJK and knock out pretty much everything after that, like +1 HJK, Bob's offensive Manaphy after rocks. But I decide to play it safe and go out into my Nihilego. I don't expect him to Earth Power here, but he actually reveals Healing Wish, and now he can go into his Metagross, and I'm like, fuck. But this Metagross had revealed earlier that he is probably Adamant, but doesn't have any attack EVs, and this means a Bullet Punch is a roll to knock me out, and I don't expect him to Bullet Punch here when he can just like attack me because he knows I probably don't have coverage from him. The best coverage Nihilego could have would be Foul Play, but even then, Foul Play is not a 2k on this Metagross because he's like not max attack. So I can just set up my T-Spikes here, which will be helpful for Manaphy. Allows my Cune to pretty much beat 1 vs 1 as well as my Licky unless he's Radiant's Toxic, but Radiant's Toxic is a set that Lopunny beat by just taking Encore. Listen, make Meteor Mash on my Wish here. They're going to Licky after he killed my Nihilego, but this doesn't matter really because I Wish up on this thing all day unless he gets the obvious attack with Meteor Mash, but I can just like Wish up and Dragon Tail after like dodging one. I don't have to play the Wish Protect game here, and like I get nice health back as I get him out to Manaphy, which is nice. He goes down to 75% on the switch in, pretty clean. At this point, I could just start clicking Dragon Tail and pretty much beat his team on my own, because I can always Wish up versus both Thundy and Metagross, but I figured like speeding up the process and going to Manaphy is my best bet here, so yeah, I do just that as he doubles out or switches out into Thunder. Goes for the knock on my Volt. I just Volt because if he switches out, Lopunny gets a kill, and if he stays in, Lopunny gets a kill. So I got to my Lopunny. At this point, I have this game won. I expect this to be an offensive Manaphy because he had defensive Shaman, he had defensive Nidoqueen, he had probably bulky Metagross because it's not invested in attack, so I figured this is offensive Manaphy. Now I can just click high jump kick twice for the win. Metagross comes in. I could. Oh no, I don't do just that just yet because high jump kick actually is not a KO on this Metagross. I was like a little bit ahead on this turns, but oh sorry. I decided to go into my Licky here because Licky kinda walls his Metagross and lets you get like 2+2 with his Meteor Mashes. and even then, like I ship him down with the rock here, so I can go for the wish here. He was 30, and I yeah, actually like go for the wish, the earthquakes, and then I pass into Q. Because if it's not AV Metagross, Q pretty much beats one of this one. The earthquakes, I get the wish back, that's 96%, and now I start spamming skulls. If I get the burn, Licky wins, as well as Metagross. He Thunder Punches me, gets the para. He has actually roots to be AV. I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. I like wasn't sure what he said was. I figured he could be like a very bulky agility set or something, but I wasn't sure. Like AV like just didn't hit me when he played, but now I know he's AV. Gets a para, gets the full para on this turn as I'm just trying to chip him down in range of Power Punch from my Lopunny to guarantee knock out the Manaphy if it's defensive. But I get fully para twice in a row, and like getting a Scald plus a Scalper actually would have like won me the game here, because I could have just click Power Punch into return. But anyway, now I'm like forced to go to my Lopunny. I still win this game pretty much, unless I miss a high jump kick. Like he probably has to like bank off a miss here and like just Meteor Mash to put me in range of a Bullet Punch if he has it, or he just Bullet Punches me and hopes for a miss. But he actually decides to Bullet Punch here, drops me to just slightly under 50, and I miss my high jump kick, and at this point I'm like, yeah, fuck, I lose this game. I can't go into Mech because I know I live any hit, but I can't live an Earthquake into a Surf from Manaphy anymore, and my Licky is one down because I just passed the wish into Q to win this, to speed up this game. But my boy Carson says, yeah, that's stupid, I'm a forward, and I'm like, no, like, you don't have to do it, it's part of the game. But he actually decides, being like a great sportsman, I was like pretty baffled he did this, but he actually decides to just Bullet Punch me here. So my beginner could knock out his Metagross, and then he decides to just Tail Glow up and allow me to get the kill, because he acknowledged that I pretty much won the game if I didn't get para twice and missed the high jump kick. Like, I don't know what the chances are that I get para twice. Like, getting para twice like 1 in 16, I think, and then missing high jump kick is what, 10%. So a 1 in 6 chance that I lose the game. It didn't want it to happen, so I decided to let me have the win here. Like, shout out to Carson, that's great sportsmanship there. Like, really, he didn't have to do it. I told him, like, dude, it's part of the game, like, don't worry about it. But he didn't want to have a win like that, and that's pretty cool on his end to let me have the win. I've never seen anyone do that in the format, but it's great that he, like, obviously I appreciate it, but I actually wouldn't have been mad at him for just taking the win with Metagross and Manaphy. But still, shout out to him. It definitely was a fun game. I think, like, with what I brought versus what he brought, I kind of had the matchup, and with preventing rocks early and getting up my rocks early, I put him in a position where I like just was able to win with my lob, because like I pressured the Shaman well and got like with his Little Queen and shit like that. But yes, he still could have won the game because of like the stupid hacks, but he decided not to. So this is like absolutely fantastic. Like like it's great sportsmanship, like, and it's pretty nice to see to still be a thing in the format. But as I said, like, he didn't have to do it, but very happy he did. So we are 2-0 now after 2 weeks in the IDM, and yeah, looking clean. We are actually facing Jacko. I think he's in the Hive, like pretty, I think, known man in the format. But we are facing him for week 3 as like a super stupid team of threats with like Celestina, Mega Galate, Fable, and like only bulky stuff like Stumpfist and Moongas, Quagsire. But we built a hot team, and hopefully we'll be able to clutch out a win. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like and a comment if you did, and I catch him in the match versus Jacko, I would say. Yeah.